Hey guys, Shingo here, and I'm back with another Trailblazers video. Last week I announced that I would be working on Trailblazers Chapter 0, and today I wanted to talk about how that's going to look. So for starters, let's go over the actual structure for Trailblazers, the story. So Trailblazers itself, the comic at least, is set to be 3 parts. Each part is basically its own self-contained story. And currently what I'm doing on this channel is I'm developing for part 1 of Trailblazers. And before I get super deep into the creation process for part 1, I wanted to test my abilities and skills to discern what I would need to upgrade, so to speak, so that I would be ready or more prepared by the time I'm ready to start producing Chapter 1 of Trailblazers, Part 1. And that's where Chapter 0 comes in. Chapter 0 is probably going to be about the length of a one-shot. It's its own self-contained mini-story on top of the self-contained story in Part 1. It takes place within Part 1, and it is canon. And it will basically be sort of a showcase of the 2 main characters of Trailblazers, and give you a snapshot of who they are, what they're about, and maybe some hints as to the types of struggles they'll be going through over the course of the main narrative. The style of Chapter 0 is going to be a little bit of a hybrid. I'm going to do something that I actually very much like seeing, especially in other independent comics, where they'll do sort of the chapter itself, but also do small little insert pages detailing specific lore concepts. I've always loved that, so I'm probably going to do something similar. Furthermore, it's probably going to be required reading because some of the concepts won't make sense unless you see or understand how things are working. I'm talking like maybe battle mechanics or how the power system works in the world, stuff like that. I'm really not going to make part of the story because I don't think it would just drag down the pace. This is an exposition chapter. This is supposed to be a chapter smack dab in the middle of things, but self-contained enough where you don't need more context. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually very, very excited. I've already got the main cast of characters that needs to be in this. It's going to be a limited cast, obviously. I've planned out the scenarios. It's just a matter of writing the script now, which I'll be taking, the month of May to review, edit, and kind of fine-tune so that by the time June hits, like I've mentioned, I will be ready to just hit the floor running, and I will proceed with my asset development on top of the script, specifically on the streams, but also in my spare time, because I have just beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake. There's literally nothing in my way now, beyond occasional forays into smaller games or experiences I know will be pretty short. Additionally, I'm planning for a fall 2020 release of Chapter 0. This is going to be a little bit of a stretch. I've just set this as sort of like a semi-permanent deadline so that I can motivate myself to, continue working at a decent pace. Now, given that I haven't had a lot of experience making finished comic pages, I've made comic pages before, but not finished comic pages. I'm going to give myself the leeway to extend the deadline, provided that I have made some modicum of progress by the end of June. And if I have not made the progress I want to by the end of June, then most likely I'm going to ixnay the whole deadline idea for fall 2020 and push it back to maybe Thanksgiving in the States or Christmas time. In regards to where I'm going to publish Chapter 0, that's a bit more interesting. I am not actually sure what I want to do. My first inclination was Webtoon, but Webtoon requires that I follow a specific format to make it the most enjoyable reading experience for viewers who might be on mobile. And understanding that mobile is basically the future, and if they can't access it clearly through mobile, it might spell bad things for my viewership on Chapter 0 and Trailblazers when it comes out. I'm really going to probably have to decide if I want to do 2 rounds of edits on the pages. So make the pages and then format them, or reformat them, I should say, to fit on Webtoon. Some ideas right now include making my own site and posting the chapter there. Another option is to maybe get a few friends together and release Chapter 0 alongside some of their chapters in some digital magazine. Well, I don't want to say digital magazine, but like a type of like digital anthology. Let's call it that. Of course, if you have any suggestions for where I can actually post Trailblazers when I finish Chapter 0, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll make sure to check them out. Leave a like on this video, it helps out a lot, and if you aren't already subscribed and you want to know more about Project Trailblazers and stay in the know, please feel free to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.